What's up, everybody? AJ Kirsch here, the voice of MyPLAYER in WWE2K19's My Career Mode, and welcome to the second episode of WWE2Kfabe, where I share my inside perspective and behind-the-scenes stories surrounding every single cutscene in My Career Mode in WWE2K19. The feedback so far has been absolutely spectacular. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you missed the first episode, you can catch it right now. The link is in the description of this video. A couple quick, easy, and free ways you can support. You can click the thumbs up button, like this video, hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you know exactly when every episode drops. Right now, I'm thinking Monday and Wednesday, but if you have a better idea, that leads me to another way you can support. Leave a comment, leave feedback, ask questions. I will be fielding questions from last week's episode here in just a moment or two before we dive in to this week's episode. But yeah, it's early on, so if you got feedback, leave it in the comments. If you've got a question about this episode, leave it in the comments. I will field that before the following episode. You can also follow me on social media. I am on Twitter and Instagram at AJ Kirsch. That's AJKirsch. Facebook.com/I am AJ Kirsch. And if you want to follow that douchebag doppelganger, Broseph Joe Brody, you can do that too. Twitter and Instagram at BroJBrody and Facebook.com/Broseph Joe Brody. Also, if you want to check out one of the over dozen designs of AJ Kirsch and Broseph Joe Brody shirts, you can. I've got the Super Nintendo shirt on right now. I've got tees and tanks for men and women. Click the link in the description of this video for the full selection. And if you use code WWE2K19 at checkout, you can save 20% off your entire order. Now that the plugs are out of the way, let's get into some questions. Now, I'm looking at these for the first time, so we're going to take not too long, 60, 90 seconds or so, and address some of the questions that you left in the comments from last week's episode. Lieutenant Reven asks, would you rather be the multiplayer voice once again or the voice of the mentor in 2K20? And if you got offered a real SmackDown, Raw, or NXT contract, where would you go? Which brand? If I'm given the chance to contribute to WWE 2K20, I would absolutely be all over it. I think it'd be kind of fun if Buzz returned as the mentor for the featured performer in 2K20. And if I were offered a real contract with WWE, I would want to start out in NXT, make sure I got a lay of the land, and eventually I'd want to end up on Raw. I think we all agree that Raw has kind of always been the flagship brand. IJXMES asks, close enough, how are you picked to be the voice of MyPLAYER, and would you do it again? P.S. Can't wait for part 2. Appreciate that. Part 2 is in the works right now. And to get the complete story, I'm actually going to steer you to my conversation with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I appeared on the Steve Austin Show a couple weeks ago. So just Google Podcast 1 Steve Austin Show, browse the episodes, and you'll get the entire story for how I landed that role. Let's see. Scrolling down. Let's see. This is cool. This is Charlie James. I never thought all this was going behind the scenes. Oh yeah, there's a lot going on. Did you do the moves for the ring or just MyPLAYER? I just did the motion capture for MyPLAYER. There was a slew of top-notch independent talent that did all the in-ring stuff. The WWE 2K19 credits are not hard to find. You can just plug it into YouTube and pull them up and get a complete list of everyone who was a part of the motion capture process. Let's see. How long did it take you to do the dialogue for the game? That's from YOLO GoPro. We shot over a week, but they were some very long days, and it was a very intense week. One more question. Let's see. When did my career character make a YouTube channel? We're not going to count that one. I don't know. I've had a YouTube channel for quite a while, actually. If you go back, you can find some remixes of, like, wrestling theme music and just a whole bunch of other stuff. Old reels from when I was wrestling as full-time as I could. So check it out. There's some interesting stuff on there. And finally, is Joe Brody appearing in 2K20? That comes from Joe Mashups. Too early to tell. But 2K Games is aware of Joe Brody, Broseph Joe Brody, and, you know, they know where to find him if they want him. They know where to find him. All right. Thanks so much for the questions. Just a reminder, if there's anything in this episode that you have a question about, leave it in the comments, and I will address it prior to the next episode, which as of now, I'm thinking is going to be Monday. But if you guys want to see Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if you want to see Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, you can also sound off in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much to MK Ice and Fire, the gaming channel on YouTube. They have been kind enough to let me use their footage that they've uploaded of every single cutscene from WWE 2K19. It's on their YouTube channel right now, so please check them out. Give them a subscription. MK Ice and Fire, I cannot thank you enough for your support of WWE 2Kfabe. And now, with all that being said, without any further ado, let's dive into episode 2 of WWE 2Kfabe. And here we go. If you missed last week's episode, we ended when Braun Strowman beat the crap out of me in a steel cage. If you missed that episode, the link is in the description of this video. And
I don't know.
As you can see, I am just icing my neck. Told Baron that I felt like I got ran over by a big bearded tank, which is a line I improvised, which I was pretty happy about. I felt like there was a chance for a little bit of a laugh there, and I came up with big bearded tank, just the image of a tank with Braun Strowman's sweaty, bulbous face on it just made me laugh. So hopefully somebody got a laugh out of it.
Look that over and return it at tomorrow night's show.
And here it is, the moment that so many professional wrestlers dream of, being offered a contract for NXT. And I'm looking at Baron like, what? It freaking happened.
Me too.
Not gonna lie, I still kind of hope that that moment happens to me in real life someday.
I'll definitely be sad to see you go. You've become one of my top guys.
You'll be fine, though, right? I mean, you got Cole and the rest of the crew, yeah?
Sorry, what am I doing? This is your time to celebrate, not to worry
now, if
about
I'm
me and
looking at this correctly, it looks like Baron Blade, they used the motion capture from the first actor that was Baron Blade, because if you watch the previous episode, you know that they actually had to find another actor to be Baron Blade. But looking at his movements right now and like really paying attention to him, I think it was they used the movements of that first actor that they only had on set for day one, and everybody else for everything else was just stand-ins for Baron's physical motion capture part of his performance. This was a lot of fun to shoot. This some of that top-notch independent talent that I mentioned in the beginning of this video when I was answering questions were pretending to be fans and just jumping up and down and just, I mean, we've all either been those fans or we've seen fans that are just totally marking out and freaking out. And so to have these independent wrestlers that are absolutely amazing at what they do and just pretending to be these, you know, overly enthused fans hopping up and down was just a blast. And again, if you want to find out exactly who it was, then just plug in WWE 2K19 credits into YouTube, and you will find out, you'll see who it was. They're in the credits under motion capture talent. And I just got my ass handed to me by that masked assailant after mouthing off and saying that I'm ready to go straight to the main roster. And again, quick shout out to MK Ice and Fire. Their watermark in the corner. I could not be doing the show without your help. And Matt Bloom does not like what he sees, nor does Triple H.
Less than 24 hours after we offer you the opportunity of a lifetime, you get into a fight with
I've got some
explaining
splaining to do.
And there's video. I'd really love to hear this explanation.
Triple H looking like the god of war, looking like Kratos right now. And what are we gonna do? I've been caught. I've been caught messing up.
I am so sorry. I never intended for this to happen, and I can promise you it will never happen again.
Not good enough. Not good enough apology, I guess.
I asked for an explanation. You need to understand, this isn't some rinky-dink independent.
And it's funny because it was this scene rather that I think it was the first chance we really got to emote on screen, not just kind of, you know, discuss back and forth. But this was the first scene we shot that there was really some, you know, some heavy emotion involved, where I'm tucking my tail between my legs and Triple H. Well, again, I didn't record the voiceovers and motion capture with the WWE superstars themselves. ourselves, but the actor who was standing in for Triple H, he was also doing his lines so that we could get a rhythm for what he was saying. And, you know, it was the first time I just remember feeling like, oh man, this is starting to feel real. I mean, I think everybody can relate. Everybody can remember a time when they messed up at something and they just feel terrible about it. And I just heard that Triple H is rescinding the contract, and I wish I was dead.
Understood. This is on you too. Remember what I said about making me regret my decision? Congratulations. You did it in record time.
You did it. You did it in record time. So as I said in the last episode, Matt Bloom's role was originally written for William Regal. And so when we were acting out this scene, the indie wrestler who was acting as William Regal, he was also talking like him, just, you know, very soft-spoken with that accent. And the way he said, "You did it in record time," just cracked me up every time. And that's one of the things I will always associate with this game, is just him going, "You did it in record time."
It is too early for that to be funny.
Sorry, I couldn't wait to tell you the good news.
Triple H called and wants to offer me a contract again?
No. Better.
What could be better than that?
Baron Blade waking me up out of my van with some good news. This better be good. Sleeping like a baby in the back of that van.
Went viral. It's over 2 million views now. Sorry, make that 2.2 million.
2.2 million,
So
okay.
a whole lot of people have watched me thw my career away. Why is that a good thing?
Because
look at me, I'm already ready to get back in the van. I'm just like, ugh. Why do you gotta be here right now?
Everyone wants to book you now. You're the hottest thing on the indie scene.
I'm curious what parking lot Buzz parked his van in. What does that look like to you? Maybe it's close to a stadium, or I don't know. I don't know where that is. Maybe it is just a parking lot somewhere in the city.
It could be very good. We could turn chicken crap into chicken salad.
Okay, so turning chicken crap into chicken salad, that was, I really wanted to say, well, you know, as another shout out to Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson at Pritchard, what is it called? Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, one of my all-time favorite wrestling podcasts. And I was able to sneak in a little bit later on. I don't know if it'll be the next episode or the one after, but there's a choice, there's a chance to choose between invading NXT as the NWO, DX, or 80s wrestlers. And if I were you, I would always choose 80s wrestlers. Nothing against NWO or DX, but he says it's too early for this, and I'm walking away from my van. Like, I guess I was going to brush my teeth because he said my breath was terrible. But watching it back right now, I'm just like, where am I going? If not back in the van, where am I going? Anyway, choose 80s wrestlers. I had so much fun shooting that scene, especially with Manny Favorino, who plays Colt Quinn. Yeah, just got a chance to shout out Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson at Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. Keep up the good work, guys.
Give me a minute. Welcome to the new reality of BCW.
And I don't know about you, but I can't hear reality of BCW without thinking reality of wrestling with Booker T, his school down in Houston.
Entrepreneurial genius. I pulled some strings with the school principal, allowing us to move the show outside, therefore doubling our capacity.
All right.
Look at me, a little nod of approval. Baron Blade not crap in the bed for once. Look at him go.
Video cameras and that nice gentleman I was just speaking with?
Yeah.
For the first time ever, BCW.
Now it's funny because in the previous episode, remember Baron Blade said the only constant between the Indies and WWE is that the ring is the same size. And looking at the ring right now, you know, they only had one ring that we could record in. It was a 20 by 20 ring. So that's the size WWE uses. But most indie rings are not 20 by 20. Some are 18 by 18. Some are 16 by 16. And, you know, we really didn't have time to, I mean, they would have had to use different size rings if I was going to point that out. But that was something that caught my attention at the time. Just like, WWE rings are usually bigger than most indie promotions rings. But, you know, details. I mean, you start in the indies, which in itself I think is cool enough.
By the way, your match with him tonight is now Falls Count Anywhere.
Ugh, Falls Count Anywhere. You suck, Baron.
Fun. Yeah, you really have an odd definition of the word.
You have an odd definition of fun, and I use quotation fingers all the time. All right, y'all, there you have it. This week's episode of WWE2Kfabe is in the books. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, if you have any questions or feedback, please leave them in the comments. And if you haven't yet, click that thumbs up button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know exactly when the next episode is going to drop. Now, if you are in or near the San Francisco Bay Area, you've got not one but two chances to catch me in action this weekend. On Friday, October the 19th, I will be hosting Blood Slam, which is Hood Slam's annual Halloween horror extravaganza. Friday, October the 19th at the Oakland Metro Opera House. Tickets available by searching Hood Slam on Eventbrite.com. And then Sunday in San Francisco at Oasis on 11th Street, Hood Slam presents Sexy Good Time Horror Babylon. More horror and Halloween-themed goodness from the Accidental Phenomenon. Tickets for that are also available by searching Hood Slam on Eventbrite.com. I will be hosting, ring announcing, and providing the live commentary on both shows as Broseph Joe Brody. But it's 21 and over, so don't bring your f***ing kids. Thanks again for joining me, everybody. Once again, final thank you to MK Ice and Fire for letting me use their footage for WWE2Kfabe. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for spreading the word. Until next time, I'm AJ Kirsch, and this has been WWE2Kfabe. Take care, y'all.